Pinkerton Audiobooks presents
Midnight Mortuary.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm your hostess, the Woman in Black. Tonight we present Bayou of Blood by J. Pinkerton and Lilith Valentine. The storm rolled in like a funeral shroud, heavy with rain and shadow. Dr. Emily LaFleur huddled in her rain-soaked coat, the cypress trees towering above her like skeletal sentinels. She had been warned not to come here, not to dig into the secrets of the bayou. But the letter had been insistent, pleading, "Come to the old lighthouse at Blackwater Bend. Your sister's life depends on it." Now, as she trudged through the knee-deep mud, the lighthouse loomed ahead. Its light was long extinguished. The structure half collapsed, as if the swamp itself had swallowed it whole. The door creaked open as she approached, as though something inside had been waiting. "Sarah?" she called, her voice swallowed by the howling wind. No answer. She stepped inside, her flashlight cutting through the darkness. The air was thick with rot and something else, something metallic, like blood. A spiral staircase led to the top, and she climbed it with reluctance, her heart pounding in her chest. At the top, she found a journal. It belonged to a man named Dr. Sylvan Raw, a scientist who had once worked in this very lighthouse. His writings were mad, filled with obsession over the swamp's strange properties, its ability to regenerate life, to defy death itself. He had conducted experiments, horrific ones, blending human and plant tissue in the name of science. The final entry was dated 20 years ago.
They think me a monster, but I have succeeded. I have transcended, and now they will burn me for it.
Emily's breath caught as she heard a sound below, a low, wet squelch. She shone her light down the stairs. Something moved in the shadows, something massive and indistinct. Her heart raced as she descended, her shoes squishing in the mud. That was when she saw it, a body, half buried in the mire. A woman. Emily's heart was pierced with anguish as she knelt beside the corpse. It was Sarah, her sister, cold and stiff, her eyes frozen in terror. As Emily reached out to touch her face, the ground beneath her gave way. She sank into the mud, screaming as something wrapped around her ankles. The swamp itself seemed to be alive. And then she saw him. He was a monolith of moss and mire, his body a twisted amalgamation of human and plant. Eyes glowed faintly in the dark, filled with pain and fury. He reached out a hand, not to harm her, but to show her something. Jutting out of the mud, Emily saw a charred, rotting plank. A name had been carved into it, Roussel. The creature's gaze met hers, and for a moment, she understood. He was not a monster. He was a man, a scientist, a victim of his own ambition, trapped in this hellish form, cursed to wander the swamp for eternity. Regrettably, the understanding came too late. The storm raged on, the rain pouring down in torrents as the mud claimed Emily, pulling her beneath the surface. The last thing she saw was the creature's anguished face, his moss-covered hand reaching out to save her. When the storm passed, the bayou was still once more. The lighthouse stood silent, its secrets buried, but the locals would whisper for years of a ghostly figure in the swamp, a thing of mud and blood, forever seeking redemption for sins it could never undo. And in the darkness, the creature wept. The end. Tonight's story, Bayou of Blood, was written by J. Pinkerton and Lilith Valentine. Read by the Woman in Black, audio engineer, Christoph Adriano.
Midnight Mortuary.
This has been a J. Pinkerton Audiobooks presentation. Copyright 2025 J. Pinkerton. All rights reserved.